What's up, guys? Well, wrong hair strikes again. I did not think Martin could pull it off, even though I did feel his condition was significantly better than Samson's. I thought Samson's overwhelming size was going to be the deciding factor, but Martin Fitzwater pulled it off. Here were your final results in Prague. Defending champion Martin Fitzwater holds on to the title and gains a qualification for the 2026 Mr. Olympia. Samson had to settle for second place. Krizo in third. Keone Pearson in fourth, moving up a spot from where I thought he was. And Joan Pradels from Spain in fifth place. So let's take a look at the final comparisons between the guys. So this was the confirmation round, the final call out. Of course, Samson and Martin. And man, I still thought it was going to go to Samson. I just thought he had too much going on. But Martin was full. He was shredded. Not missing anything. Samson does beat him in a couple poses, but guys, it's not about who wins X amount of poses. I know a lot of you guys think that's how the decisions are based, but it's an overall impression that the head judge and the other judges have to arrive at that conclusion based on all the factors: structure, shape, symmetry, mass, proportion, condition, presentation. And they decided that today Martin was the better man. I still think Samson's back is not all the way regained its thickness that he had earlier in the season and at last year's Olympia. He's still down in size a little bit in the back and the legs. Definitely a lot better than he looked 2 weeks ago at the Olympia, but it was not enough to get past Martin Fitzwater. Martin got this one. So I'm waiting for the results to see how close it was, whether it was like a 1 or 2 point decision or whether the judges had Martin in first place all along. Be very curious. Martin looked EAW. I don't know what that means. I don't agree with the result. Change up the judges. They were comparing notes. Martin looked great. Iran, they both looked quality. It was very close. Well done, Martin. So did Samson need more conditioning or size this time? He needed both. I think today a little more conditioning would have helped him out. I mean, I do think it was very close. I had Samson winning earlier. Yeah, I mean, it was very close. It had to be a tough call for these judges. Samson looked a lot sharper. Not sharper than Martin. He might have looked sharper than he did yesterday, but he was not sharper than Martin. Okay. Here's a look at the top 5, the final comparison before they whittled it down to the top 2. You can see Joan Pradels. Keone moved up to 4th. I had him in 5th, but fair play to Keone. He moved up a spot. And Krizo in 3rd. Can't really argue with that. Krizo looked fantastic. Yeah, he does have that thick waist, but I mean, he's got so many other great things going on in his physique. So much mass. Condition was bang on. So many impressive body parts. It's a great physique. So I have no problem with that. I don't know who that is on the right. Is that Joan? Did they move him again? Let's see what you guys are saying. Martin's crowned, but it applies in purse again. I don't know what that means. Both these guys look better compared to Olympia. Yeah, I mean, and that's saying something because Martin, I didn't think could look any better than the Olympia. I thought he looked great at the Olympia, and I had him beating Samson at the Olympia. And today, that's exactly what happened. Martin could have beat Derek with this look, man. I don't know. That's questionable. So Derek beat everyone else. So you're saying Martin would have beat Hadi and Andrew Jacked? And I don't know about that. I don't know if he's quite there yet. Samson had water retention bloated. Couldn't keep the stomach in. Martin with the win. Got to give this kid some major momentum leading into the Arnold. Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, Samson's still not back to 100%. He probably was at 70%. If you want to call the Olympia 60%, we're throwing numbers around. Martin wowed me more than Samson, especially all the extra details. Yes, if you're a fan of detail and condition, that was Martin all day. Samson winning for the show. Martin played well. I totally had Samson winning. I mean, even after watching the judging footage from yesterday. Let's take a look at some more stuff on Instagram. This is from the Rep 1 page. This is Martin's speech.
Here that are very, very special to me. My girlfriend Alexis and my coach, Stefan Peason, boss of Outlaw. Those two, my corner. I wouldn't be here without them, guys. I love this sport with all my heart. I'd be in jail or dead if it wasn't for bodybuilding. And before this, I worked construction building houses. I worked 70 hours a week and did this for fun. Now I get to call this my job, and I'm the luckiest man on the planet. So I get to do that because of people like you and the support that you give bodybuilding, and I just want to thank you so much. I love this sport with all that I am. I hope you can see that from the joy that I show on stage. But I want to give a huge thank you to these guys for putting on amazing shows like this, to give me the opportunity to display my physique, show an even better physique than I did 2 weeks ago at the Olympia, and get to see the best fans in the world. So huge thank you to you guys. Alexis, come here. Where's boss? Get your butt over here.
Bring the girl over.
I want to say 2 special things about these people. I wouldn't be able to do this at home without a beautiful girlfriend that understands this sport, takes amazing care of me, keeps me in line, and most of all, she's my backbone. Whenever I start to fall apart, she's who's there for me. She keeps my head in check. And then this guy right here. You guys can say whatever you want. This is the best coach in the world, and I'll stand on it day in and day out. Him and I are going to change the sport together. I believe in what we're building. I believe in the physique that we're putting together. We're bringing something new to this sport, and I promise we're going to continue to bring that 90s conditioning with some fullness that you guys haven't seen before. We're having fun, we're having our passion, and we get to do this as a group. So as much as it is me standing on stage here by myself, this whole team around me, that guy behind the camera, is the reason that I get to do this and the reason that I'm successful. Without these guys surrounding me, I wouldn't be here. So huge thank you to them. I have so much love for you guys. There's no words that can put that into it, but I'm completely thankful. Back-to-back champ, baby!
All right, so you need a beautiful girlfriend to win. An ugly girlfriend would not do it. So here was him at finals. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking this guy is a future Mr. Olympia, potentially. There's no guarantees in this sport, but he definitely has the tools. I mean, he just beat Samson. Granted, it was not the best Samson, but still, Samson's stock is all-time low. So now I really think, and you let me know what you guys think. I think Samson's going to keep going. He's going to have to go to either Poland next weekend. I think he's going to go to Romania 2 weeks from today to take on Andrew Jacked, just to show that he's still capable. But that's 2 more weeks that he'll be able to fill out. I think in that amount of time, he will be almost back 100% to the Samson that we know. That'll be a full 4 weeks since the Olympia. I do believe he'll be able to regain like 95% of the size that he lost over dieting for the 2025 Olympia. Stepping on stage, still stand, display, hold poses. Martin has no width to his lats. So Raymond, you're not a Martin lover. You're a Martin hater. If Samson couldn't beat Martin, you should forget about winning the O anytime soon. I disagree. I think Samson at 300 pounds in very decent condition, not shredded. I don't think he's ever going to be shredded regardless. I think he could still be Mr. Olympia again. Don't write Samson off. Samson's quick fix, revives fullness, didn't come with quality. Yeah, I mean, he did sacrifice a little bit of conditioning to get the size back. I didn't think he was going to be more conditioned than the Olympia. That was not going to happen, but I figured he'd be about as conditioned and bigger. Martin will one day win the O. Yeah, Gregory, I'm not arguing that. I think it's quite possible. What does Samson do now? Either he shuts it down until next year's Olympia, or he shuts it down for not very long, like another 6 to 8 weeks, and then starts prep for the Arnold and the Arnold UK. Pick up some money, go for those wins. Best physique in the world, plays fourth. How to explain that? Keone just did not look big compared to these other guys. Going back to the judging footage from yesterday, Keone by himself looks huge. When he's standing next to these bigger guys, I mean, if Samson's like 290, 295, let's say he's 290, Keone's probably a little under 220. So that's about, he's given up over 70 pounds. Krizo's probably about 260 to 270. Martin's probably about 250. This Juan guy, he's enormous. He ended up beating Juan. And he beat everyone today except for Martin, Samson, and Krizo. So not a terrible open debut at all for a guy who's, I bet he's like 215 to 217. I doubt he's much heavier than that. And, he didn't really need to be. Okay, back to that. Top 2 figure. Yeah, I'm not talking about figure. Just no time. Keone is too small compared to his midsection. In trouble. Only get worse. If he continues to get bigger and bigger, I don't see that midsection getting better. I see it getting worse. Not a Samson's front lat spread. Yeah, he is pushing his. It's not the best pose for him. It's not the best. It's not Martin's best pose either. Samson won just as many shows as Quentin this year. Meaning 0. I do like Martin, though. Top bloke. Good for Martin. Cool. Love it. Will Samson get inspired by James Hollingshead and fire his wife? No. Does he need a proper coach? I mean, I don't think it could hurt to try a different approach. Maybe Boss of Outlaw. I'm sure Boss of Outlaw, Stefan, fake humble. I'm sure Boss would love to work with Samson. And he seems to be able to multitask. Boss seems to be able to work with tons and tons of people. Well, that's the guy I was trying to think of who said, I can work with so many people because I just keep it all business. He doesn't waste a lot of time communicating with people, talking about their dog or their weekend. What's up, Oz Open Bodybuilding? Good day. Good to see you too. Classic show is so good. 212 was overshadowed by Classic. Too much. You're saying if I what? Best coaching genetics in the world. That is Boss of Outlaw, Stefan Kienzl. He did say that. He snitched on his own homies and caught smuggling drugs. Who's that? You're talking about Martin? Simpson 0 for 3 since he won the Olympia. Yeah, you're right. He didn't win the Arnold. He didn't win the Olympia, and he didn't win today. Martin won fair and square, 6 spectators. That's all because someone was off. Martin has been, still is a great ambassador of sport. Yeah, I mean, that sounded like a pretty good acceptance speech. See what else we got on that. Rep 1 gives the best. Great stuff there. Some more HD footage of the top 2. Keep that on a loop as we talk. With all due, Martin saying he and Stefan are going to change the sport. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to change the sport, but good on him for at least being ambitious. 90s conditioning with better fullness. This was the best Martin I've ever seen. He's getting better and better. I know he's still a young guy, and I would expect that anyway, but I do see consistent improvement from this guy from season to season. Like I said, if you had asked me 3 years ago when he was younger in his pro career, if he would ever be beating a guy that had just won the Olympia the year before, I'd say, come on, don't be ridiculous. No. I was so sure Samson was going to take this. No, they're not. Guys got to stop with the conspiracy theories. If you're going with conspiracy theories, they would have given it to Samson just because Samson, he's a Mr. Olympia. He's just, a more popular athlete, a bigger name. If they were going to go by quote unquote politics, they would have gone with Samson. They're not doing that stuff anymore, guys. They're not. Samson shut down and get a new coach. Yeah, I'd like to see him do that too. I'd like to see what a different coach could do for Samson. Shut it down and wait for the O. Samson doesn't need to keep competing. Yeah, I think the thing is that Arnold Classic Columbus is $750,000, and he has beaten all those guys before, all the guys that are going to be in it. So he's capable of beating them again under the right circumstances. So turning that down, then you got Arnold UK a week or 2 later. The money's not quite as good, but it's still decent money, and it's right there in the UK. Martin won fair and square, saying athlete won because someone's off. Martin is a great ambassador of sport. We love. Yeah, you know what? And even if somebody was off, even if this wasn't the best version of Samson, that's not Martin's fault. You can't blame the winner for the people they beat not being at their best. Everybody knew what day the show was. They knew when the show was. And if they didn't bring their best, that's on them. That's not on Martin. So you can't take anything away from Martin. Ronnie Coleman never saw on stage. He and Chad going to change the sport. Yeah, I agree. It was a little silly. Samson need to bleach his skin or he will never look shredded. So yeah, the complexion doesn't help, but I think it's more the texture, the thickness of the skin. Martin got a great midsection. Yeah, great quads, great midsection. Samson loves competing and seeing jumping into something sooner rather than later. He'll get another show before end of the year. Keone should stay in 212. I don't think he's ready for open. He did pretty well, but he's not ready to win. He could win smaller open shows, no doubt. When he's up against guys that are top 5 in the Olympia, the open Mr. Olympia, that's when I think things kind of fall apart for him. So no, he's not ready to crush all these guys the way Martin and Hadi were as 212s. Not Martin, I meant Derek and Hadi. Here's Krizo. Krizo looked fantastic. Look at that conditioning. Dry as a bone. Yeah, the wide waist, that's his only real flaw. His back is a lot better than it used to be. He just doesn't have a great V-taper, but it was still good enough to beat everybody today except for Martin and Samson. So give the guy his due props. Give him his credit. Keone's too small. Tells me a peeled and full Nick Walker can win the O. Krizo is so effing wide. He's a monster. A peeled and full Nick Walker. Well, Nick was peeled and full at the Olympia, and he didn't do any better than 6. Krizo. Where did Carl Pickford come in? I don't even know who that is. I'm sorry. Pardells was 4th. Yeah. When I take away your comments, you can see the placings. It was Martin winning, Samson 2nd, Krizo 3rd, Keone 4th, Joanne 5th. Where do you think this Martin would place at the O? 4th. I don't think he would have beat. I still don't think he was beating Andrew Jacked, Hadi Chupan, or Derek Lunsford. I know a lot of you guys don't like Derek, and you'd say everybody should beat Derek, but I would have had him 4th, and I had him 4th at the Olympia anyway. I know he ended up 5th behind Samson. I thought he beat Samson fair and square because he looked about the same. He was a little sharper today, Martin, than he was at the Olympia, but Samson was a good deal flatter at the Olympia. I really had Martin beating him at the Olympia. Congratulations to Martin, the best he's ever looked. He's getting better and better, man. I mean, it's all about improvement. Let's talk about Martin. I heard he snitched on his homies. So I did not know that. I heard it on Iron OGs with King. I mean, I'm not verifying that. I don't know. Got better today, so you had water. I miss Dominant Olympia. I don't miss that, Johnny, and it's because it kind of got boring. You know, a few years into Lee Haney's reign, a few years into Dorian's reign, a few years into Ronnie, Phil Heath, you're like, eh. Like I said to Mike Cox earlier, it's like time for somebody new. I mean, you want to change. I like the way the Olympia has been going with rotating champions. We had 7 different champs in 8 years, and then Derek won it again. So it's still 7 champs in the past 9 years now. Yo, Ron, that's me. Sam def better than Yo a lot, but Martin definitely beat him. Champ, but let's look at Samson. Let's give Samson a good look. I mean, I give him a lot of credit. He's improved a lot in 2 weeks. That's a much closer version to the Olympia winning Samson than we saw 2 weeks ago. I'd say he's like halfway back. Another 2 weeks, if he does Romania, I think he could be 3/4 of the way back. Look at me in my mouth. You're my boy. Krizo looked great. Dorian Yates, who rightfully broke the mold and revolutionized sport, never. I know, man. I know those guys never talk crap. So I get what you're saying, Kaga. Boss says he doesn't get close to that's been treats Urson Martin. Well, I mean, he can't help but get close to a couple of them. Samson needs to take a long, hard look at America. He's staring down the barrel of mediocrity. He's still scorecards out. They were not. Let me see if that has changed. Let me see if they're out. Right before I went live, I took a look. Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, I thought I just saw it. I thought I just saw the results were out. Schedule, pro schedule, Olympia. Results. Why can't I go to any other tabs on that? Maybe pro results still not out. No scorecard out yet. No, I'll keep that up and I'll refresh. I'll go back to it later if we're still on. Erst the Mountain and Martin the Storm. Samson, Derek doing too many shows. They're looking off. Derek not his best recently. And he's still pretty good at the damn Olympia. Prize money for Krizo, don't know. All I know is the $30,000 that Martin won because it was written on the big novelty check. Nobody else got a check like that on stage. Someone was live streaming results. I'll tell you later who. I saw Larry Pollock was doing it. It's just not a smart thing to do because you can lose your channel. Every time there's an Olympia weekend, a lot of YouTube channels lose their channel. Either gets copyright strikes and they can't go live for a few months, or they get their channel taken down. I am not risking that, guys. No. This is one of my sources of income, and I do not want to lose it. And I enjoy. Those Budesheim. Don't they have Pradels? There's Ruffin, man. Ruffin's routine, of course, brought down the house. Giles told me. Giles was right there in the front row doing the play-by-play for the pay-per-view. Keone was supposed to be the future of open bodybuilding. Yeah, Johnny, didn't quite work out that way. I don't think Nick was at his best. Pittsburgh was better. I agree. Samson number 1. No, he was number 2. Absolutely love Martin's conditioning. Yeah, he was looking pretty damn great. I need to get that down. We're looking at Terrence Ruffin now, your classic winner. Any day someone can be. Yeah, I mean, when we have a lot of guys who are very close to each other, it's any given Sunday, as they used to say in football. Any given Sunday, somebody could win. Dorian was gifted his Olympias. He was first bubble gut. Senthal champ. He wasn't gifted his first couple. You could make valid arguments for some of his wins after that. 92 was a clear win. 93 was a clear win. After that, that's when you can start making cases for perhaps other people should have won. I want to see if they have one of Joan up there from the finals. Joan Perdelis, because that youngster really impressed me. Very much so. Huh? No, they don't. Not from finals, but I'll go back to him from the judging. Joan, yeah, this what? Keep an eye on this guy, Joan Perdelis from Spain. He's going to be winning shows very soon. I bet next year he starts winning shows. Good for Martin. I thought Krizo looked fantastic. He did. What's up, Jeremy? How are you? Samson looked to be better than his Mr. O showing. Yeah, I mean, I thought he should have beat him at the Olympia, and that makes me really even double down on that. I really think he should have beat him at the Olympia. Well-deserved victory for Martin. I'm sure Giles would have had Samson winning. No, I don't know. I haven't actually talked to Chance. This isn't a podcast without Tiger. He is at the after party right now. It is 11:26 p.m. over there in Prague. You think it's good Martin wins because he needed the Olympic qualification? Sure. I mean, Martin needed to qualify somewhere, and this way, he's doing the Arnold anyway. I'm almost certain. I don't know if he's announced it, but why wouldn't he do the Arnold now? He just beat Samson. Who's to say he couldn't beat everyone else? I mean, Derek's not doing the Arnold. Hottie's may or may not do it. Andrew's Jack is probably going to do it. This copyright's just happening all over the place. Biden Discord. Yeah, I saw every time I tried to go to, I was at the gym when the results came out, and I was going to EP09. I was going to desktop for Xavier. Discord. I was looking to see what was going on in the show, what the coverage was, and their videos were gone. So I don't even think they were showing video, but if they were, any of those 3 guys, they all know they're not supposed to, so I don't think they were, but their videos got taken down. So that's why I'm very overly cautious. I wait till the show's over. I take footage from Nick Strength and Power. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. And Instagram. So I'm not taking anything from the actual stream, the live stream, the pay-per-view. Well-deserved for Martin. Sims just can't nail the conditioning. And Martin matched him. Yeah, so here it is again. Comments. Martin matched. Yeah, Martin's condition was far better than Samson's. Do you think good Vito can pass Martin one day? At the rate they're going, no. I don't see anything's possible. What's up, Donald? Anything's possible, but I don't see Vito getting ahead of Martin. He's like 2 years behind Martin in terms of development, muscle maturity, stuff like that. Vito's still a work in progress. He looks damn good. Don't get me wrong. He was top 10 in the Olympia. But Martin's at a higher level. I don't see Vito getting past him. Martin has the most upside. He's still 28 years old. Yeah, think about how young that is, 28 in bodybuilding. Samson's going to be 40 in a couple weeks, I think. Great showing for Martin. Conditioning should be a requirement. Andrew Jack's FIBA win was a real low point. Spanish prize, Joan is a force to reckon with. You remind me of a taller version of, yeah, Mike Francois. There's a name from the past. Pardell's is big. I was very impressed with him. Has there been a weaker Mr. Olympia reign than Samson's? I wouldn't call it a reign. It was 1 year. Do you think Krizo with this package would play 6th at the Olympia last week? Would he have beaten Nick? Yeah, I mean, he would have been top 10 for sure. Would he have beaten Nick Walker? I don't know. Y'all need to sit down. Martin takes the win, y'all. The reign of Martin has begun. Harris is an epitome of YouTube streaming etiquette. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Kalia. Hello, Martians. What's up? EP, what happened? Did you lose your stream too? Davey Mize, what's up? Happy for Martin winning this. It's been his breakout year. He'll continue to improve. Yeah, Davey, that's Bayou Muscle. He owns a supplement company. Check that out on Instagram. Sponsors EP09 channel. I was not on the Martin train until this year. These past 2 shows, this past Olympia and this show have really got me on the Martin Fitzwater hype train. I'm very impressed with his physique. Go back to the other one. Here we go. This is the top 5 again. Comments. What do you make of Joan finishing? I had Joan ahead of him. Personally, I don't know what the judges saw. I don't know what happened there. I had him third. Message me later. We'll chat. Okay. EP09. What happened to your stream? Yeah, he doesn't want to say it publicly. That's fine. And again, I'm sure he wasn't streaming the pay-per-view. I'm sure he wasn't doing that. So I'm not really sure what happened there. That crab muscular Martin is world class. Yeah, Martin's crab is incredible. That is a crazy, crazy shot for him. That's his best pose, I think. Oh, copyright strike. Sorting it out, though. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't even warranted, obviously. Do you think Samson should do the Arnold or shut it down to Olympia? I don't know. I'm torn on that one because the Arnold is such big money. But would he be better off just resting up, letting the body rest and recover, having a good off season, maybe getting a new coach and coming back really strong at the Olympia? I don't know. Martin's condition pushed him over for sure. I believe it came down to condition. And if we look at this, will show the top two again. Actually, I can go to. I'll go to this. There was one here that was just focusing on Martin, and there was a clip here that just focused on them. So we'll just leave that up. That'll just play on a loop. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I feel like Nick's not that impressive next to Krizo. They have similar weaknesses. Krizo's taller and doesn't have the ugly veins. Yeah, I mean, they both have issues with the midsection. Nick has kind of a bubble gut going on now when he's not keeping it sucked in. And Krizo's waist is just wide and thick. It's not a bubble gut, but he has a wide waist. Yeah, just the game on YouTube is a ridiculously good show and most exciting. Yeah, I got a copyright strike in the 2024 Olympia when I had something like 200,000 views. And they cut it off and I lost all the views and all the money I would have got from that. So I was pretty bummed. Yeah, maybe do the Arnold UK, shut it down. Who else? Do Martin's German coach. You can go to Stefan Kienzl, the boss of Outlaw. He coaches a lot of top people. Second place, 15,000. Very good show. Was it 30K first, 15 for second in Prague? Yeah. Let's come back to stage next year. Okay. I like both guys. Think Sam deserved the win due to more size, height, still good conditioning. Sam said Martin by 70 pounds, but it doesn't show. I think it was 70 pounds. So if Samson was 290, you think Martin's only 230? That might be right. It's hard to say. I really don't know what he weighs. Martin probably is like between two. I want to say he's about 240, but I really don't know, to be honest with you guys. Really don't know. Yeah, well, Martin had the peak of the year. Yeah, this was a great Martin this year, man. Martin no less than 240. I agree. Krizo should have been fourth. Let's go back to Martin from the finals. Yeah, look at the confidence. I mean, he just knew he brought 100%. He knew he was just untouchable this time. Last year in Prague, when he tore his hamstring the first day during judging, it really affected him and he was off and wasn't at his best. Even when he came back the next day looking better, this is so much better than he looked at Prague last year and even better than he looked at the Olympia, which 2 weeks later and traveling all the way to Europe, that's a feat, man. That's not easy to do. Crystal should have been fourth. Yeah. Damn, this is bad for Samson. I agree. It's not great for Samson. I agree. He finally got it right, though. Anyway, another 10-pound on Martin's frame for next year's Olympian. He could upset everyone. Yeah, I wouldn't count Martin out for winning this thing, man. Samson needed this show for momentum. Unfortunately, he didn't get it. Unfortunately, good for Martin. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, what we got there. Dorian Hammer, what's up? Samson should stop chasing weight now. He's smaller, working, getting tighter. No, I think he needs to be back up to 300. I actually disagree with that. I think 300 pounds, the way he won the Olympia last year, probably would have beat Martin today. I still think so, but he's not. He needs to put all the size back on. Judge got this one right. Keone deserved fourth. Sam's abs are better than Martin's because Sam's has a 10-pack. A 10-pack. Martin's getting the separation like Keone now. I don't see that separation. I don't see any. Maybe like a little tiny bit. Happy for Keone, though. Martin looks great. He's taking his time. Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. I'm going to go. I'm so hungry. I went to the gym, and I haven't eaten yet. So, you guys know You know how that goes. I'm going to do one last check on the results to see if the results are out. Results. Ooh. They don't have the results yet. No, the results are still not out. Still not out for Prague. What's that? Martin looks great. Anyone who's seen Martin work out with Brett Wilkin knows he'll put in the work. 09. Do you think Sims could have won also? Anabolic window closing on Ron Harris. That's right. Go eat Ron. All right, guys. Sims should have won the hot take. That is a hot take. All right, guys. So that's it. Congratulations to Martin Fitzwater. Again, tremendous job today beating 2024 Mr. Olympia Samson Dauda. Curious to see what Samson does now. Will he do the Poland Pro next weekend? Will he do the Romania show in 2 weeks to try to beat Andrew Jack? Or will he just shut it down all the way into the Olympia, or at least until the Arnold US and the Arnold UK next year? I'm sure he's going to do some sort of announcement within the next couple of days and let us all know. Samson's good like that with the transparency. So that's it, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll be doing hopefully I'll get a power hour with Giles because he was front and center for this in person live on Meathead Podcast. I got Jose Raymond coming up Wednesday night. Jose Raymond going to be on the Meathead Podcast with me and Big Mike Cox to break down the results of this show. So that is it, guys. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.